Alright, quick video on hack job meal. I haven't failed this badly in a while. I'm going to go on a cabin trip soon, and this is my test run for a couple of dishes. The first one is portobello mushroom gratin and roast chicken with vinaigrette. One thing I see a lot of people do when they make gratin is they don't fry the mushrooms, they just boil it in the cream, and it looks kind of gross. So after I slice the mushrooms, I just fry it in a pan, and then I set this aside. I had to cook it in a couple of batches because this is a lot of mushrooms. This is about 5 large portobello mushrooms. As for the gratin, I finally bought a mandolin, but the handguard doesn't work because the spikes are too shallow for these potatoes. Eventually I'll buy some Kevlar gloves instead of using the handguard. And then I just began layering my gratin. I just realized I do not have the patience to make gratin and lay out each potato like playing cards. I just dump them and I spread them out as best I can. And now that I think about it, I never make casserole dishes ever. I don't have a 9x13 whatever standard pan used to bake stuff, so I just use this pan. So first is a layer of potatoes, a little bit of salt. I should have been more heavier with the salt because I didn't season the mushrooms at all. And then after the mushrooms is a very small layer of parmesan. And after that, you just repeat over and over again until you've run out of potatoes and mushrooms. In this case, I had way too many potatoes and I ran out of mushrooms rather quickly. And in between every layer, you could push down a little bit just to remove any air, so you don't run out of space if your pan is not too deep like mine. And I've only had gratin one time in my life, so I don't really have a good reference. My older sister made it for me once, and she said it was bad, so I don't really know what gratin's supposed to taste like. And I finally ran out of mushrooms. So you save all the cheese so you can put it all on top. But I realized that you also have to add the cream, or in my case half and half, and you should probably do that before you add the cheese. And this is also where I messed up. I should have added way more half and half, because this is a cast iron pan, and also because I put this in near the bottom of the oven, it got really hot. So I should have probably added way more than what I thought I would need. Maybe get it all the way to the top of this pan. So yeah, that was my bad. All the cream eventually just cooked. It even sort of caramelized on the side. So it smelled like what you would add for your morning coffee, almost. And after the cream's added, all you do is cover in foil, and then you put it in... You're supposed to put it in like a really hot oven, 400, but I go for 375, because I also have to cook a chicken. And I remember when I bought this chicken, I thought to myself, oh, this is a nice small chicken, but after you open the package, it's humongous. And so I knew that this would never be timed correctly. The chicken would probably be overcooked, and I was correct. I am mixing some Knorr chicken stock cube and olive oil and rubbing it throughout the chicken. And yeah, I should have used... I have a thermometer that you could put in the oven and use as an alarm, and I should have probably have done that for this. I got distracted. I was rewatching Steins Gate, and then I overcooked my chicken, and the chicken breast was dry, and everything else was fine. I mean, if you overcook the drumstick or the thighs, it still tastes good. Also, my gratin overflowed, so a lot of parmesan was stuck to the foil. Also, I'm sick and tired of all these videos saying carving chicken is easy. Carving chickens in America are not easy. Like, we have the most buff chickens on earth. Oh, and for the chicken with vinaigrette, the last prep is just to cut some shallots finely. And I also like parsley with my sauce too. And I don't like it when my parsley's whole pieces, so I cut it up too. And the one good thing that came out of this meal was the sauce, which is just the chicken juice, any fond left on the pan. And I try to scrape off as much as I can, and I even added some of the white wine vinegar onto the pan itself to get as much fond off as possible. So yeah, the sauce is the chicken juice, the white wine vinegar, the parsley, and a good amount of olive oil. And that's it. And yeah, this is me trying to cut open this huge chicken. And I should definitely not use this knife to cut this chicken, but I tried. I got the important pieces, the leg and the thighs. The carcass itself, I don't have a knife small enough to like scrape off everything, so I just put it in my freezer, and I could just mix it with ginger and green onion and make instant soup with it in the future. Yeah, there's a lot of chicken. I remember originally thinking to myself, this chicken's small enough I can eat half of it, and then after I carved it I realized there's no way. Oh, also chicken wings were good because it's still dark meat. And as you can see, I have very little space right now, so I'm using my couch as another table. That is that last step of putting in the olive oil, putting in the parsley, and oh, I just realized it's not on camera, but I do put the raw shallots on the chicken before putting on the sauce. And I just pour over a lot of sauce. And the gratin definitely needs salt, but other than that, it was pretty good. It was definitely too dry, but I don't really think this dish is worth it. I think for the cabin trip, to reduce some variability and risk, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of chicken thighs. Maybe I will use the probe thermometer, the alarm one. And then for the potato dish, honestly, I think baked potato is better than this. It's way easier. So yeah, I might go with that. Maybe, I mean, I still like the mushrooms. Maybe I could just fry up the mushrooms and then put it as an optional topping. And then have your normal sour cream and butter. But anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble, and have a nice rest of your day.